purpose of this demonstration is to explain to you how to do the final expenditure statement submission. At the moment, the Studentship Data System does need a manual data download and then separately uploaded into TFS. And we are working on getting some development done that will do an automatic report for you on the financial expenditure statement fields and things. But for now, this is the manual process that you would need to go through. There is a how-to guide that I'm also going to be referring to here, which I'll be talking you through as to what this is explaining and on the actual system screen. So when you log in, you'll go to find your studentship records, and you need to search by the training grant. And I have just let me just find the training grant. So I'm going to put HA5030. So that's my training grant. And as you can see, there's an option to export. So if this list it brings back more than 14 records, you can see here that you can actually download up to 200. So if you've got more than 14 records that are being found, so this 14 records does match with this export, but sometimes you might see this as saying 200 records, but this is exporting 14, and this is to do with the page, the web page pagination. So do pay attention to what this is also saying here, this 14, because if that's showing this number is larger than this export, then just scroll down to the bottom here and select the higher number and select apply, and then you'll be able to download up to 200 records at a time. And again, future development is coming that will allow you to export more than 200 records at a time. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to say these are the records that I need to export for this financial expenditure statement. So I select export, and it downloads it into a CSV file. So if I just show you, this is what the download looks like. And you can see you've got studentships, funding breakdown, UCAD grant details, partnerships, and this is some additional tabs that I've added here for the demonstration. But for all intents and purposes, the file that you will get will have these 4 tabs. And for the FES, you will need to do some manipulation of this data. And in the how-to guide, it does explain how you will need to do this. So as I've just shown you, we've exported these records and we've downloaded the file in CSV format. As the how-to guide here explains, that the funding breakdown tabs shows the funding per student per academic year. So there's actually multiple lines per studentship. And if I show you here, we've got studentship 1, studentship 2, and so on. So in order to get the data in the easiest way for you to put it together for the financial expenditure statement information that's required, you need to create a pivot table to calculate the totals for each student with the rows sorted in ascending order. So we invite you to create a pivot table that will do that for you. As you can see, it's got this figures all collated in the right format for you. So to collect the information for the FES, you then need to create a new tab or a new workbook, whichever you is going to be, well, ultimately it's going to be a separate file because you will need to put all the data in these columns and then export it as a PDF that is separately uploaded into TFS. But for now, I'll just show you what I've done here for this example. So I've created a separate tab here for this demonstration purpose, but you can export just this tab as a separate file where you've got your studentship reference, the first name, surname, the funding start and end date, and the total stipend, which is what you're getting from here, from this total here. So once you've got your, you sort your studentship reference in ascending order, and then add a column entitled total stipend. So if we have a look at that, that's that column there. So as I've explained, we are developing a standalone report in a future release. So the amendments to the data can be made as required, and if changes are made to those funding dates or the stipend amounts in the download file, they will need to be updated on the studentship record. The overall total funded under the stipend fund heading can then be added to the stipend field on the FES submission in JES in line with the other fund headings. The CSV file should then be saved as a PDF document with the grant reference in the file name and attached to the FES submission as a supporting document. So for example, here, say this is going to be your file, what you can do, if you right click on the tab here of FES submission, and you can say move or copy, and if you say create a copy here, and you can select new book and say okay, you'll see that this is now a completely separate file, and you would save this with the training grant name in the file name, sorry, the grant reference in the file name, and save it as a PDF document that is then attached to the FES submission in TFS, or if you're doing any updates in elsewhere. So hopefully that's been clear enough for you, and demonstrates how you can download the data that you need for your final expenditure statement, and then how you would manipulate it into the format that we require once it's in the downloaded file.